Is religion a trap? Probably, yes. And I'll explain why in this video, so let's get to it. Yo, welcome back to the channel, guys. Lucid Living. Once again, we are living and progressing our life consciously, okay? Spiritual evolution is the key here. So, topic of this video is religion and spirituality. What is the difference? How do you know where you fall in? So I found myself in this situation very early on in my spiritual journey. I grew up Catholic. My mom was a Catholic also. We went to church every Sunday. I had to go to class to learn about the Bible, to learn about all the Catholic rituals that we have. For example, the communion, and then they talk about marriage, all those things. I would go and I would practice all these things, but I never knew why, and I didn't really care to ask, right? It is only when we start to ask, when we start to question, when we start to challenge, is when we start to actually think for ourselves. And so I didn't start thinking for myself up until I went to college, where I was by myself, no longer under the roof of my parents, and I had to make decisions on my own. And one of the biggest decisions, or the biggest things that would eat me up, was the question of, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why am I going to school? Why am I going to school? Why am I meeting people? Why do I want to approach this girl? Why do I want to get this job? All these things, the why was what kept hitting me, right? And then I turned to God, right? And this is what people always, they find themselves usually in the lowest times of their life. They always have to question God, right? What about God? Existential crisis, And here I wasted no time in just wondering. I put myself to work. I went into the field and I actually tested my own theories on God, right? For example, I wasn't a Christian. I didn't believe in God. I didn't know what I believed in, but I still went on a mission trip, and I went out to find God, right? And I practiced. I took on this role as a missionary without really being a believer, right? And that just goes to show so much, and it talks so much about spirituality and religion. Like in religion, it's kind of like a thing that you wear, right? It is a label that you put on yourself. That's the first point that I really want to elaborate on. That religion is more like a label. It's a thing that you wear, right? Spirituality is something that you individually recognize within yourself, okay? When you say, hey, what's your religion? Oh, I'm Catholic. Oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I'm Buddhist. Oh, I'm blah, blah, blah. There's like numerous associations that we have for each of these religions, right? And so then now because you're, because you're some kind of religion, you don't eat certain foods, or because you are from a certain religion, you only believe in monogamy or polygamy. So like there's just so many associations that go once you're under this religion, and if you're from one religion, you can only marry people who are from that same religion. And so my problem with that was, okay, I get it, I get the rules, I get that there is a discipline there. People have vices, people have things that they need to control, right? And the church can help people with that. It gives them direction, it gives them a place, a purpose in a way, because it gives them a label. And with the label, people feel secure. People feel like, oh, because I'm Catholic, now I know that I have a relationship with God. Or because I'm Catholic, now I know where I'm going in the future. Now I know that I'm saved, because I'm a specific religion. Now I know that that'll be fine, and that I'm in the right religion, and that any other religion is not really what I'm about, and they're wrong, right? So the label limits you. Spirituality is so loose in a way. It is like, if you say that you're spiritual, I have met many spiritual people, right, in my own journey, and they say, oh, I'm spiritual, but then the extent to that, like how deep that goes, will vary completely. Some people are just starting off and they're learning about things, they're learning concepts, and they're curious. Other people have been practicing meditation for 15 years, and so they have a certain relationship to spirituality. Other people practice yoga. Other people do look into astrology, into all of this new age stuff. So spirituality has a wide range of things, and it doesn't really put anybody under a certain label. If you're spiritual, people used to call me a hippie because of the way I spoke. But when the way I dressed was completely different, I would dress nice. I like to wear nice dress up shirts, button up shirts. I would wear nice shoes. I would look like just a student, somebody that like just like to take care of himself. But when people asked me about my beliefs and they started talking to me, they started asking me questions, then they would be like, oh, like, you sound hippie, or oh, you're vegetarian, or oh, you're blah, blah, blah. So, like, people automatically want to put a label on you, but I would not accept any label. I would just say, look, I'm spiritual, take it how you want to take it, okay? Because people who understand will be able to understand you more. People who understand their own relationship with their spirituality will be able to connect with you more because of the fact that they understand that you have gone through your own journey, you've gone through certain hardships, you've realized certain things, and so they can respect that because they have also gone through similar things, okay? So that's the first point. All right, and another point here is that basically religion is about worship, okay? Spirituality is about understanding. So religions tend to worship people. They tend to look up at people. Like, for example, Jesus or Buddha or whatever. I can't really speak. I can only speak from my experience. But in Christianity and Catholicism, there's a lot of emphasis put on these deities in a way, or these influential people. Nobody can be them, really. Like, nobody can really be that person. Nobody can achieve that greatness, and we will forever serve that person that is not even with us. Do you understand? Like, worshiping for me personally, I don't look up to people. I never looked up to anybody. I don't have any people that I really like. I'm like, oh, I want to be like that person. No, I don't, because for some reason, I understood from a very young age that that person is also a human being, just like me. There's no differentiation. Okay, there's no reason for why I can't do what they can do, right? So why should I worship them? I should learn from them, not worship them. And that's really the biggest difference here, which is that the spiritualist learns while the religious person worships. Yo, I'm just pausing the video really quick just to let you guys know, if you like the video, if you're enjoying the content, if you're finding this helpful, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know that you're lucid, that you're awake, and that you're watching this shit, alright? So, we'll be back to the video. So the final and most important point, really, is finding the difference between a believer and a seeker, okay? The religious person is a believer, and the spiritual person is a seeker. When you get down to the root of it, these are the two things, and I have to define them, right? The believer, right? The believer is a person who holds on to things, that holds on to beliefs, that holds on to ideas, that holds on to this label, okay, in a way. For example, oh, I believe in my religion, I believe in my God, and this God is right. So anybody who doesn't believe in this God must also be wrong. So you have to understand that when you enter a zone of belief, of holding on, of attachment to a specific idea, you close yourself off from anything that is not that exact idea. Okay, this is why I say that labels are limiting. For example, another example would be, it doesn't even have to be religion. So hey, I believe in this person. I believe that this person is a good person. So because of my idea of what a good person is, I believe that this person will not do this. But the moment that they do that, then now they're a horrible person. They're the worst person in the world, because they just broke your conception of what you believe is good, because you put that label of goodness onto them. So if you understand this way of thinking, you will realize that whenever you want to hold on to things, whenever you want to hold on to ideas, whenever you put a belief on something, you are closing yourself off, you are polarizing yourself, so that whatever you don't believe in will rock your world. Whenever your belief is disproven, you will feel insecure. You will feel like your world, the stability of your world, is being shaken. And this is really like it's funny because I see it in my everyday interactions, okay? I see it with my family, I see it with my friends, I see it with everybody. Basically, people want security. They want to know that you're there with them. You know, they want to know that if you're their friend, that you have to do this, like all these different things, or if you're dating, that you have to follow all these different rules, or now if you're committed in a relationship, that you have to do all these other things, right? So that's really the problem with belief, that people don't understand that belief does not really guarantee security. The only security, and this is why religion is also a trap. Look, listen to this very carefully. The only security given to you in your life is this moment. This is the only true moment, okay? The only thing that was guaranteed in your life is that you're gonna die. That's one thing, and that you're breathing, right? So as long as you're breathing, as long as you're living, then that's the only security you can really know of, you know. And this is really where I get to the transition of the seeker. But understand that a person who learns to just be okay with not believing anything, be okay with not knowing everything, is going to be the most calmest person in the world. Because look, think about it like this. Somebody lying to you, okay? There are people who do not like to be lied to. But the fact is that everybody lies, okay? Everybody lies. The smallest, biggest lies, whatever, they exist, okay? Now, if you live your life guided by this belief that this person never lies to you, or guided by the belief that everybody lies, and so you can't trust anybody, then you will constantly be trying to prove that theory right, okay? That belief right, because of the attachment. You have a commitment to that belief. Now you have gathered all these different experiences, you've gathered all these different ideas, all these emotions, and you've attached to this one belief, okay? And the moment that that belief becomes challenged, it becomes picked apart, it becomes destroyed, your stability gets destroyed also, okay? So that's the problem with religion. The problem with religion is that it's guaranteeing you something, it's guaranteeing you security in exchange of fear. Okay, that's the most important thing. Are your actions fear driven or truth driven? Okay, now that's where we can transition into the seeker, which is basically the seeker is a person who knows that he doesn't know anything, right? The seeker is a child who is willing to go out to the world and challenge his own beliefs. The child who is able to experiment, touch everything, and be okay with whatever happens, okay? The child who explores, has an idea, hey, what would happen if I did this? What would happen if I tweaked it like that? What would happen if I did this? And the child is constantly adjusting his life, constantly playing around with his life. And so he's constantly asking questions and therefore constantly growing. He knows, or the child, in truth, the young children of under 8 years old, they know that they don't know anything. That's why they always ask questions. They know that not everything is for sure. That's why they're experimenting with things, because they want to know what is, right? That's it. And even when they find things out, there's still the possibility that there's more to be found out, okay? And that's the thing that I want to emphasize here, that the seeker and the believer is okay with not knowing things as long as his belief is true, right? But the seeker is okay with being wrong. For example, the way I relate to the seeker is basically, I have an idea, I have a theory in my mind. And this theory, I have developed it from years of experience and also from curiosity. It is an accumulation of, it's a synthesis of my experiences, of my ideas, of what I've read, of what I've heard, of what I want to accomplish in this life. And so I create this theory, right? And this life is my experiment, okay? That's how you want to approach this life, which is basically the seeker seeks out the truth, right? He seeks to find out the truth. And so if you have a theory, you have an idea, then he goes out and tests it, right? Whether it be, does God exist? Can I be the best person I can be? Does love exist? Can you find the perfect relationship? Can you create the perfect relationship? Can you become completely abundant? Can you actually accomplish your dreams? Look at, this is what the seeker does, okay? The seeker is not afraid to be wrong because they know that, whether they like it or not, infinite amount of perspectives exist, okay? But the seeker seeks out the best perspective for the most results, and that's really the thing. You look into Bruce Lee, his theory on spirituality. He basically said that once a man recognizes his spirituality within him, I'm just paraphrasing, I don't know the exact quote, but once the man recognizes his spirituality within him, he will accomplish more in his life than anybody ever thought possible. And that's because spirituality is ingrained in everything, right? And the person who is spiritual is also a seeker. A truly spiritual person is a seeker because they challenge, and they are constantly asking themselves, and they constantly want to find the best thing, right? And they're okay with being wrong, okay? So the seeker will want to experiment and will test the limits. They will they will challenge the current form of thinking. They will challenge the group mentality of the people around them, the group mentality of the people who seek security, who want belief, who want to be stable, living a lie in a way. So that's really the important thing here. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this clarifies something for you guys. And I hope you guys keep seeking out the truth. Keep testing out new theories. Keep testing out new ideas. And keep expanding on what you already have right now. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification button, because I'm going to be coming out with weekly videos. You already know what it is. Stay lucid. Peace.